body cam, Judge Carol Weimer under the microscope. We have Mustafa from solitary confinement in our adult county jail. Mustafa, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Mustafa, thank you for joining the podcast. We have Maha, Missy, Mary Jo, Casey, and we have our beautiful Christina, our Russian princess, our Moldovan princess, and God help you if the Russian comes out. Um, Christina is joining this podcast, and it's going to be a beautiful podcast. Mustafa, Christina just stepped out for 2 seconds, but she'll be back. Everybody
Okay.
can hear you, and the floor is yours. Thank you for being here.
What about Otera Ammar? You didn't see her.
Which one? Oh, Bustos.
Christina.
Bustos,
Yep.
hello, hello. How are you, man? I'm happy that you're here. I was telling everybody I got the equipment, and I'm really excited. I mean, this whole entire podcast is gonna transform to a next level. Bustos, thank you for being here. I love you, man. Let me see if I can bring you up. There we go. Mustafa, can you hear me?
Yeah, are we streaming live on YouTube?
We are streaming live on YouTube. If someone can do me a favor, if they can run over YouTube, leave a comment, make sure it's running, and if it's not running, let us know. Yeah, Mustafa, it should be running.
Hello, Mustafa.
Hello, is that Missy?
Bustos.
Is that Bustos?
Yep.
Hey, Bustos, I just want to tell you, it's really a shame for the media not to cover real news, like what's going on, and authentic and the real truth. Now, with your support, you're literally an angel on earth for actually supporting Amar with the equipment to bring this awareness. With the right equipment, the voice can be heard at the right decibel. So we're the news. We the people. This is our government. We cannot allow the tyrants to abuse their positions and just take advantage of taxpayers' dollars. The Commonwealth Attorney, Amy Kotlowski Ashworth, Commonwealth Attorney in Prince William County, she got charged $25,000 for the Freedom of Information Act violations. Not one violation, not two, not three, multiple violations for the FOIA request. When a citizen requests particular documents to be produced in a timely manner, they have to produce these documents. It's not, maybe I like this person or not like this person or whatever. No, this is the law. This is a country of law. So, Bustos, just to go back, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting, and it really means a lot that financially, you're chipping in to the point where you're upgrading this platform to the next level so we can bring awareness and we're serving the people in our community.
You're welcome, and we need to just keep and continue getting this story out.
I'll tell you.
Thanks.
I'll tell you. I'm gonna have Julie Carey with NBC4. Wish that she sat down with me and covered the story properly. I mean, we're putting in a good amount of effort into this platform. This platform is gonna get out to the community, and whether Commonwealth Amy Ashworth have the media on a payroll in her pocket doesn't matter anymore. I mean, our voice is gonna get out. I mean, look at what's going on. We have the body cams. We have the documents, we have the whole entire file, and we're leaking it out on the internet. And the conversation no longer that I'm telling you, take my word for it. No, I'm giving you the documents. It's a very strong conversation. You can no longer dismiss this conversation. On that note, I want to thank Christina for being here. Hello. Thank you for being here. Love you, ma'am. Mustafa?
Yeah.
Hey there, princess.
Hello.
How are
Hey,
you?
Christina. Man, this is like, I don't know if this is some sort of dream or what, but I'm sitting here, and it's like 24 hours a day, in a small cell, and just meditating. But to have Christina on the phone, everyone's on the phone. I'm sitting here on the phone.
Thank you.
I'm really,
Mustafa.
really
I
happy
appreciate
right
you
now.
saying that.
You know, Christina,
Yeah, I'm really
while I
happy
have
right
you
now.
here, I want to take you back to memory lane, and specifically, what did Prince William County? We're going to listen to the audio from court inside the proceeding where the prosecutor, specifically during a bond hearing, looked at you and saw that you were sitting next to mom, next to my dad, and was terrified. Terrified that you've been sleeping in the parking lot for Mustafa, that you're in court, there for Mustafa, fighting for Mustafa. That this prosecutor, if you listen to what she says, she said, she looked at you, and it was weird because what she said didn't make sense. She says the extensive abusive history with the victim. She's talking about Dorothy. She looked over and she saw you supporting Mustafa. You're there for Mustafa.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, you know what's really interesting? Is that Mustafa met Dorothy 3 months. What extensive abusive history are you talking about? I mean, you've known Mustafa for you've been in a relationship with Mustafa just about 5 years. So you're telling me Mustafa is an abusive man, but his ex-girlfriend is sleeping in the parking lot and sitting in court firing for her ex-boyfriend? This prosecutor doesn't have a leg to stand on. I mean, you know what she said?
What did you say?
There's home videos that show Mustafa loves Dorothy, and Dorothy loves him.
She said,
She's-
the prosecutor said that.
No.
No.
The prosecutor is terrified to look at the home videos.
I see. Yeah.
I mean, it's been 2 years. She haven't looked at the home videos. I want to specifically take you back to Prince William County. And what did Prince William County do to you and Mustafa? I mean, you're a giant.
We were constantly harassed when we were trying to show our products. Constantly harassed. All we did, and that was Mustafa's business, selling those hand warmers and many times giving them away. The TENS unit, we had our own thing going. It was a very beautiful and healthy thing that we did together.
You're talking about the business that Mustafa has with
Yeah.
the heat warmers,
Yeah.
with the physical equipment.
Yeah.
Now,
and
Mustafa.
we were constantly harassed about that. Constantly.
Now,
It's as if we were. It's as if we had drugs with us or something like that.
Now, mind you, Mustafa has a business license. Mustafa gets permission from different establishments to be on the property and sell and promote his business. Why was the police harassing you guys all the time? Why?
I have no idea. Well, actually, no. I know now.
Now you know.
I know.
At the time, we never told you.
At the time, I didn't understand what's
Well,
why was he harassed? Since I was there, we were both harassed. So often.
Mustafa, when I tell Christina now that you were in a litigation with the police, that you had a lawsuit, a $500,000 lawsuit, Christina tells me, now everything makes sense. Why didn't she tell me? Why didn't you guys tell me at the time?
You just have to process everything and connect the dots. Now, when you put all the pieces to the puzzle together, you get to see the picture, and it's very clear of what's going on here. When the accident happened, the first thing you see on the body camera is the police officer saying, "Wherever that guy goes, follow him."
Yeah.
He's not.
He
He hasn't looked at any evidence.
That's the
He hasn't
most
done anything.
insane thing ever. It's an accident.
And-
Dorothy and Empress is in the car, and he says, "Wherever you go." Where are you gonna go after the accident?
And take it in perspective. At that moment, I'm passed out. I'm being flown in the helicopter. I don't even know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
I'm out. And this is what's happening on the body cameras from the Discovery. Okay. So they shoot me with fentanyl, and this is not anywhere in the report other than a small little portion
Well,
where you can
Mustafa,
see it in fine print
you
that
know
the
what I
medical
find.
staff said they
You know,
shot me with 50 mcg of fentanyl.
Mustafa. You know what I
When they
find
took me
really.
to the hospital,
You know what I find really
huh?
interesting, Mustafa. You know what I find really interesting is they took you to the hospital, did your toxicology report. I've got the document. I've got the whole file. No alcohol, no drugs. Now, what I find really interesting is they shot you with 50 mcg of F, and they don't talk about it. Nowhere in court, Christina, nowhere in court did they talk about what the paramedics did with Mustafa.
That's huge.
Now,
Why are they not talking that they shot him with 50 mcgs of fentanyl after the accident in the hospital?
Chad
And
Mason
then
engaged,
interrogate him.
while he's under 50 mcg. 50 mcg of F knocks you out for 9 hours. Now, you know what
But
I.
it's not an Advil PM, it's fentanyl that he was
Some,
shot with,
Some-
and then they interrogate him.
Mustafa, some will
That's
say.
some crazy technique. Like that's
That's,
some
I mean,
what?
you don't hear that in third world countries.
Not even third world.
Not even
countries.
third world countries.
What they did to Mustafa, even in third world
You
countries,
know-
you don't hear so much
You know,
cruelty.
Christina, Mustafa, some will say that, because of the pain, they shot you with 50 mcg of F. The question is, why did you interrogate him then for 4 hours? Chad Mason sat there and interrogated him. When he didn't get the reaction that he needed, when all he saw is a broken Mustafa, a Mustafa that's asking and crying for his family.
Anyone
they-
normal, you know, a person under fentanyl, you can't even talk to them. But Mustafa was interrogated under 50 mcg.
Christina, when they found out that when Mustafa, all Mustafa is asking is for his girlfriend, the 5-year-old baby, it's asking for his family. When all they saw is a broken, crying Mustafa for his family, they sealed off that body cam, and they falsified the police report inside the hospital. The police, Chad Mason said he did not care about his family when we told him that his family is deceased.
Okay, then why
Interesting,
why
right?
is it that when
When
I
did
got
you
out
listen
from
to
the
that?
hospital,
In the hospital, I have the document.
Oh wow,
Mhm.
that's crazy.
Omar, let me explain something. When I got out from the hospital, I
Yeah.
was wheeled in a wheelchair, put in the vehicle with my family, and the nurse is telling my family, take him home. You have to take him home. I'm in excruciating pain. The first thing on my mind is to ensure there are kids left in the apartment to make sure they're okay. I'm in severe pain. I'm the walking dead. Like, I don't care about, like, as much pain as I'm in. I have to make sure the kids are okay. When I go to the apartment, take them over to the neighbor's house, I'm thinking this lady, Tanisha Coleman, she calls herself Kim apartment, and I didn't know what kind of person she is until my family's telling me what they've seen in the Discovery, what she said about me, like all this horrific stuff, just disgusting. I take the kids over to the neighbor, and then my brother calls the lead investigator, and he tells my brother under no circumstances are the kids to go with Mustafa. So the following 2 days, when I'm speaking to Robert Drum on the phone with the phone call recorded, Drum is telling me, I'm telling him, where are the kids? Are they okay? I'm checking on their well-being. Are they okay? I'm sure they're okay if I left them with the neighbor. I have peace of mind that they're safe because they're with the neighbor. I thought she was a good person. That he tells me, well, the kids are where you left them off. And in the report, they're trying to make it look like I left the kids in the apartment, when he instructed under no circumstances is Mustafa to take the kids with him.
Well, what's really interesting is Muhammad, our other brother, had the video recorded the whole night. The whole night. He video recorded the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I find really disturbing is in the Discovery, they only subpoenaed the neighbor, Nini, the one that said, leave the kids with me. Your brother is in no shape to take care of the kids. Mm-hmm. Take care of your brother. Your brother is in bad shape. I'll take care of the kids. I mean, at the time, Mustafa was telling Nini is a family friend. Now, we took Mustafa home. Nini's taking care of the kids. Nini has a Ring camera in a Google Nest inside her apartment.
Her apartment as well.
Yeah, she has a camera inside the house and a camera at the door. Okay. Tell me why that the police department only subpoenaed a short window into from her Google Nest video and her Ring camera. They didn't subpoena the whole night. They only subpoenaed a short window, only to leave room for Glenn Ford, the ex-boyfriend, and Mimi to lie about the night. I mean, specifically, they said Mustafa showed up, he got rid of the kids, no one cared about the kids, and Mustafa ran away. I mean, why is the police department not putting out a subpoena for the whole entire video? Now they're in trouble because they're realizing that Muhammad, my other brother, had recorded the whole entire night that shows Glenn Ford, the ex-boyfriend, and Mimi lied about the whole entire night. I mean, Mimi never told the police.
Mustafa was at Nini's house after he was shot with 50 mcg fentanyl in the hospital. Mustafa was not there. Like he had the accident. He was in the hospital under fentanyl, interrogated. Then he came
out from a coma.
Out of coma, and then arrived to Nini's house to check on the children.
And you know what's really interesting? Oh, when you look at Mustafa and David, all he's doing is taking care of the kids. His main priority is the kids. Yes. But what did the police department do? Subpoena a short window into those videos to allow. Now they're upset because Glenn Ford, it shows that he lied. Nini lied. The neighbor lied, and Nini specifically never told the police that Mustafa sat there, called the hospital, and attempted to make sure that 5-year-old Empress was okay, and the hospital wouldn't let him. Nini never told the police that Mustafa is number one priority is to make sure 5-year-old Empress, and sat there with her, called the police. I have a recording. I mean, in the body cams, when Nini talked to Drum, she never told him that Mustafa sat there, called the hospital, attempted to make sure that 5-year-old Empress is okay, and the hospital wouldn't let him or update him on 5-year-old Empress. I have a whole recording. Now,
I was begging them. I said, please, let me just go in there. Maybe she's scared. Maybe I can just be there by her side, so that maybe I can save her. I can help her. They would not let me in because they said you're not next of kin. So why would they let Glenn Ford in and take pictures of her and her condition?
The one that molested her, Dorothy's underage daughter. That's crazy.
Oh my God!
They allowed him to see Dorothy and Empress.
They allowed him to take pictures. Can you believe? Right now, it's just mind cringing that they allowed this person, this predator, to walk in, take pictures of Empress, and show the other kids and be like, look at what this monster did to your mom.
Gosh.
Look what he did to your sister. And that's what's going on here.
Wow.
I have a forensic interview where the child, imagine the 10-year-old child says that Glenn Ford was at the hospital, took a picture. The forensic interviewer would ask him, with the police department, on video, would ask him, how do you know what you're saying? He said, Glenn Ford was at the hospital, took a picture of 5-year-old Empress, and showed me the picture of 5-year-old Empress. Why would a 40-year-old man show a child, a 10-year-old child, a picture of the condition that his 5-year-old sister is in? Now, I'll tell you what he was doing. He was weaponizing the kids against Mustafa. Glenn Ford gets on the internet and says Mustafa's on the run. Mustafa intentionally did this.
This man
and with Nini is weaponizing.
How would you? That is I don't know. This man has no type of heart or thinking. Why would they show that?
Are we talking about the same person that he's talking about? 16-year-old Kylie came up to him and asked him to unalive Mustafa, and can we make it look like an accident? Yeah. Are we talking about the same one that says, I am on heavy rugs and I wake up with her in my bed? A 40-year-old man talking about 16-year-old. Are we talking about the same person that says, I force kids to shower? A 9, a 10, by the way, this is an audio recording on the internet that he sat down with a private investigator and admitted to her. Amy Ashworth, as corrupt as we want to say that she is, that for 2 years this has been going on under her watch, now has put out a subpoena for Glenn Ford. And ask yourself this question. Amy Ashworth set a trial for December. They were going to put Mustafa through trial. And what we said, how could you take my brother to trial if you're not putting the evidence on the record? We asked for the home Google Nest videos to be on the record. We asked for the audio that the police admit exists on an SD card to be on the record. They're in possession of the audio to the dash camera. We asked that the vehicle get inspected and put on the record. I mean, the police mechanic is saying brake failure, transmission failure, major mechanical failure. We want that vehicle to be inspected. The police department refused to put the evidence on the record, and they want to walk Mustafa into trial. Well, now the trial, it got pushed to a later date, but now Amy Ashworth is putting out a subpoena for Glenn Ford, the ex-boyfriend. And what she's doing out of this
You have 1 minute
Is-
remaining.
she's watching evidence on the table and is now attempting to wash her hand out of the whole thing and bring in the individuals that lied, like Glenn Ford, Nene, and Kylie, and
Let's not forget Amy Hobson
Amy Hobson,
and Robert.
مش
Robert.
في دقيقة ماما.
and Robert Drum and his wife.
What time is it?
10:47.
10:47.
10:48 actually. 10:48.
Let me hang up and call real quick.
Okay.
يا حبيبي.
There's an audio that I want to listen to. Maybe if Muhammad is
Thank you for
listening to
using
this
Global
podcast,
Tellink.
if Muhammad is listening to this podcast, if Maha is listening to the podcast, if Mother is listening to this podcast, I need the audio to the phone call conversation that Mother had with Nene, the neighbor. Now, this is a very revealing audio.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from
If someone can provide me with the audio,
an inmate at the
I would
Prince
really
William
appreciate it.
Manassas Jail.
I have a
To
whole
accept this
entire
call,
staff.
press 0. To
I have a whole
Your
entire
current
staff
balance
behind
is
the scene. Christina.
$32.13.
I have a whole entire staff
This
behind
call
the
is from
scene.
a corrections facility and is subject to
This
monitoring
podcast is
and
getting
recording.
upgraded to a whole entire. I'm
Thank you
putting
for
everybody to
using
work.
Global Tellink.
Mustafa, hello.
Hello.
Mustafa, before we jump into the audio with Nene, I want to take the conversation back to when the police what got involved and what the police specifically did to your ex-girlfriend Christina, and specifically that one police officer, Christina, that you told me about that came to you that was involved in that night. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Officer Yasmin Vargas.
Yes, me and
Officer
Vargas.
Yasmin Vargas. She kept on coming around, just snooping, doing some weird stuff, whatever. She's been trying her best to create something. And
No, what she was
on
doing,
that-
she was just telling me what the others were planning to do to you. That it was not her opinion that you are bad. That wasn't her opinion. She was just telling me that Mustafa is in trouble, big trouble.
Now,
But
Christina,
I looked into her eyes and I knew what she was trying to relate to me
No.
what the others are doing.
Okay,
Not
now,
what
let me-
she
let me
thought
ask you
about
this.
Mustafa.
was Officer Yasmin Vargas involved in the night when the police came out? Specifically, when you're talking about the police, when you're talking about because Mustafa had to go to court for what do you call it when you put someone something
Like a
on
restraining order thing.
Now, what is going on with the restraining order?
There was never. There shouldn't have been a restraining order. I never.
Let me
asked-
ask you a better question.
I
Did you
never
put
asked
a, did you ask for a restraining order on Mustafa?
I did not ask for a restraining order for Mustafa.
Okay, so for those that are tuning in, if anybody,
there was no need for a restraining order. Mustafa just went his
You know-
way.
Christina, there is a whole entire community that's listening to this conversation. And do you know how disturbing it is? So are you telling us that the police took it upon themselves to put on a restraining order?
Yeah, that's
You-
what they did.
Do you know how hard it is to get a restraining order?
Oh wow.
It is very difficult to get a restraining order.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me that the police took it upon themselves to put on a restraining order.
Yeah. I never want. Me and Mustafa parted ways many times in the past, and it was no issue. There was no issue. But it was like these. It seems to me they were sent by them. I don't know. Like because they just came into my house and stuff.
Christina, do you remember one time you and I were in front of 7-Eleven? I was
Okay.
promoting the therapeutic products, and as we pull out from that area, you're driving off, and then I'm following you, and we get pulled over by Prince William County police officers, and they start questioning us. At the time, I think you had like some kind of issue with your driver's license. Remember?
I vaguely. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember
It
now.
was late at night. It was around like maybe 10 p.m.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got pulled over by Prince William County police officers. Christina was in her vehicle. I was in my vehicle. She parked her car. I think her license was suspended at the time or revoked or whatever.
Oh,
She
I
was
see.
having some kind of license issue.
Yeah.
And the police officers pulled us over. They pulled me over to the side and pulled you over to the side, looked into your trunk of your car, and they're like, look at all these items. And you were pleading with them to, give you a break. But the questions that they asked me is they're investigating human trafficking.
Oh.
They're investigating. That's
Oh
what
yeah,
they
yeah,
were
yeah, yeah. I do
investigating.
remember that. I do remember that.
You remember that night? That was Prince William County police officers investigating me for
Yeah.
human trafficking, saying that
Yeah.
supposedly
That's
you're
hilarious.
my girl at the time.
Mustafa is the epitome of I don't know how to say, like he is correct in his ways, and that's just absolutely
I stand
ridiculous.
against anyone that does anything wrong, and you're telling me what?
Yeah.
You're profiling me
For those that are joining in,
accusing me.
for those that are joining in, before the vehicle accident, Mustafa had a lawsuit against the police department, a giant lawsuit, over $500,000 lawsuit that started in 2018 and continued all the way to the vehicle accident. Now, to put things in perspective, Christina, when we asked Mustafa's lawyer, the one that was representing Mustafa in the lawsuit against the police at the time,
Yeah.
we told him they beat Mustafa, they falsified his police report. I'm going to play his reaction, what he said. It's a portion of a phone call conversation. See, it's one thing when I tell this community that my brother was engaged in a lawsuit against the police. It's another thing when you hear it from the lawyer himself. Let me play the audio for everybody.
Yeah.
The investigator that wrote the report, he lied on the report. We recorded that conversation.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
Yes, sir.
Frankly, I'm sure they all know that you sued the Stafford cops. And they beat your brother up because they know that you sued the Stafford cops.
Yes, sir.
So, to put things in perspective, what Mustafa is talking about, constant harassment. What Christina is talking about, constant harassment.
Constant harassment.
Is that Mustafa was engaged in a lawsuit. So when they pull him over and they say, they put a label on him, this label, that label, harass him, harass his girlfriend, they're retaliating against the lawsuit.
They never harassed me, but they harassed Mustafa, and that was hurting me so much because we had that therapy, like the therapy items business, and we made a living out of it. So it was hurting me. It was hurting me when they were harassing him.
Mustafa has a small business, and it's a physical therapy equipment business. It's heat warmers and those FDA approved equipment. Mustafa, to avoid overhead, he has a license business, and to avoid overhead, what him and his girlfriend used to do, and I would go with them. I would promote my mobile mechanic business.
Yeah.
My mobile mechanic business. I have a roadside mobile mechanic business.
Yep.
Used to anyway, before all this BS.
Yeah.
We would go and I would pass out my card. I would help my brother and my brother's girlfriend sell the equipment, promote the business, and we get permission from the establishment, whether it's 7-Eleven, whether it's a gas station, whether it's a club, and the police are constantly there. Mm-hmm. They're always showing up.
Yeah.
And
it was like a once a week kind of event. It was so stressful, because all we were trying to do is just sell those therapeutic items, and we engaged the homeless in the.
Oh, you guys used to feed the homeless all the time.
We would feed the homeless. We would engage them in our little therapeutic business. It was Mustafa
We-
engaged
we
the
set up-
people that needed
we
attention,
set up,
needed
Christina.
food, basic things.
Christina, our favorite place that we set up at was Crystal City in Arlington, Virginia.
Yeah, I feel so
Crystal
bad
City-
to ever freaking go in there, ever.
Oh, no worries.
I wish
But-
we
but
found
listen-
another freaking place, but
No, it's okay. But
we felt comfortable
but we
because
have
it was
to
a lot of traffic. It was a lot of people walking in and out, and
This is what.
exactly. Amar, let me just say. real
Yeah,
quick.
go ahead. I'm gonna play a video
there was
in
a
2
lot of-
seconds. I'm gonna play the
All
club
right,
owner.
Yeah, Amar, let me just say it. Then you play the club owner. Hold on 1 second. Christina.
yeah,
The reason we set up in Arlington, Virginia, at the Gentleman's Club type of area
yeah.
is because there's a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
A lot of people come in and out.
hmm
And they're really nice. They're intrigued by our products, and it's a really good advertising location. So who comes out? William Bain Jr., known as Billy. He's the club owner. And now you can play that video. Go ahead.
Fucking keep it up, and goddamn it, I'm telling you, you're gonna fucking get it. You're gonna fucking get off my property. How many times I have to tell him, officer? Get the fuck off my property. Get the fuck off it.
I got this holding on.
You hear it? Good. Get the fuck off my property. You get the fuck off it.
You're gonna go to jail, bro.
Yeah, you watch who goes to fucking jail. How many times have you heard how many times I've told him? And you'll fucking see where we're standing. Get the fuck off my property, motherfucker. Fuck you. Get off. Fucking keep it up.
Okay. He said, you watch who goes to jail.
Yeah.
That's the club owner of Crystal City, the Gentleman's Club. He comes out as I'm promoting my business, like usual. For multiple years, I've been going there, no problems at all. This guy comes out, and he's yelling at me, spitting in my face, yelling at me, assaulting me. That right there is just unacceptable. And we come to find out today, now, in the future now, that Kylie Clapp, Dorothy's daughter, her father, Jason Clapp, is the piercer for all the strippers that work for Billy. He pierces all the strippers.
Well, Mustafa, this incident, a month into this incident, you met Dorothy. Your relationship with Dorothy is 3 months long. You met Dorothy, Christina, Mustafa met Dorothy 1 month after this incident. And then after this 1 month. And then
What
we
are the
find
chances,
out,
man?
well, we find out now that 16-year-old Kylie, the one that's been lying about Mustafa, that says, I was never there, I didn't see anything. We have the forensic interviews.
Yeah.
Is we have evidence that she's lying about Mustafa. She says, I was never there, I didn't see anything. Kylie is Dorothy's 16-year-old daughter. Her father works for this guy. I mean,
I can't believe all these.
and by the way, this guy went viral. This guy almost lost his business. The community stopped boycotting him for being. That video went viral, and the community is not
He
okay.
couldn't share
with
the
it.
parking lot that was not.
It's not
his.
his parking lot.
It's not his parking lot. Mustafa was
Then-
allowed to be there to show.
Mustafa,
his
I'm gonna play
product.
the audio of what Kylie says. Okay, so this
You
is
do
her
that.
father.
And then when Kylie,
This is Kylie's
when
father.
Kylie went to the forensic interviewer, she said, the forensic interviewer asked, why are you here? She said, my dad made me come here. Like she's
Yeah.
saying that her dad forced her.
Why are you?
This is what she says, Mustafa.
Why? What is it that brought you here? Like, why are you here to talk to me today? Because my dad made me.
My dad made me. Okay, so who is your father? Who's your dad, Kylie?
Especially the older guy.
Versus like a lot of my dad, he's a piercer. He pierces like a lot of strippers, and he had brought up to them what happened, and they were and who they were, and they were like, yeah, we know this guy. Like he used to record our license plates and put it on the internet, and like follow us home and stuff. So I also was thinking I don't want them to follow me home, and I don't want to put myself in a position where, you know, I'm unsafe.
Mustafa, she's talking about the strippers.
That's crazy.
Isn't it
The
crazy?
strippers were helping me sell the hand warmers and my products. But after that incident, they all retaliated in a way where they have to follow their boss.
Hey Mustafa, I can't wait for I can't wait for court because I have so many videos when those strippers that now hate you because their boss went viral for being an asshole to you. Now they hate you all of a sudden. I have so many videos when they used to love you, when they used to come and support you and sell the heat warmer for you.
What's not?
I can't wait.
Support?
Amy Ashworth, hello, Amy. Commonwealth. I have a lot of videos that your witnesses are lying. Wait a minute, is Kylie talking about those strippers? Wait a minute, is she talking about her dad working for Billy? What a small world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No wonder she hates Mustafa. She's in that environment. And Mustafa meets her mom, and she's formulating her opinion about her mom's new boyfriend through those strippers, through the club owner that her dad works for. And wait a minute, Billy hates Mustafa. Wait, Kylie went to Glenn Ford, the ex-boyfriend, and is soliciting to kill Mustafa. Now, is it Kylie or is it Billy that's pushing her to unalive Mustafa? That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an audio, Mustafa. I'm gonna play an audio. This is Glenn Ford admitting to a private investigator that Kylie, the 16-year-old daughter, came up to him and asked him to unalive Mustafa.
That's
especially the older daughter.
I will remind you when you speak from 11:11.
And she wanted me to shoot, like, kill him.
The older daughter wanted
to kill him? Yeah. Like, where? Like, could you please, like, if I make it look like...
Kylie didn't
like,
know
you know what I'm
Mustafa.
saying? Like, something...
Why would she
like self-defense.
want him
do it?
dead?
She doesn't know Mustafa. She doesn't live with Mustafa. She doesn't live with Dorothy.
It's either her father or I don't know, or Billy. I don't know. Okay, at this point, it's like freaking crazy.
Yeah, Mustafa.
Play that audio.
Yeah.
Play that audio and explain who's talking and who is he talking to.
This is the ex-boyfriend, Glenn Ford, who sat down with a private investigator, and he admitted to her on a recorded line. This is part of an hour-long audio, where he said that the 16-year-old daughter that doesn't live with her mom, doesn't live with Mustafa, lives with her father, had approached him about unaliving Mustafa a month before the vehicle accident. Now, and can we make it look like an accident? Well, today we have a vehicle accident, and the police department says there's brake failure. They inspected the vehicle, and they're finding out brake failure. Now, the question is, did someone tamper with the vehicle, or is it just mechanical failure? This is the body cam for the police mechanic that inspected this vehicle.
Brake didn't engage.
Brake did not engage. Mustafa's foot, by the way, in the computer inside the car, shows that Mustafa's foot was on the brake the whole entire time.
Yeah.
But the brake doesn't work.
Doesn't work, yeah. Mustafa desperately tried to stop that car, but the brake was failed.
That's why Amy Ashworth is putting out a subpoena for Glenn Ford. Now there's a subpoena.
You know me. Christina, you know me. Wouldn't I save anybody in life? Christina.
100%, Mustafa. 100%. I know that.
Save anybody.
You wouldn't put yourself in danger, like I said, time and time from the beginning, and you wouldn't put anybody else in danger. And you were in that car. You were in that car. You desperately wanted to stop it. The brake failed. I wonder why. Because you had gone to the shop, you had fixed it, but apparently Glenn has been watching you for a while, and you didn't even know.
Yeah, Christina, brand new brakes. The brakes that they're talking about are brand new brakes. 2 weeks ago, these are brand new brakes. The car just came out of a shop. It should have no problem.
Yeah.
You remember, Christina, do you remember when you and I were in the Hummer? We were driving to Maryland.
Yeah.
And we saw a raccoon. What? Can you please please, just, we're talking about a raccoon, a
So
wildlife.
we were driving in Maryland and we were driving and we saw a raccoon in the middle of the two lanes. I tell Mustafa to stop, and Mustafa immediately stopped. That raccoon was taking his last breaths in the middle of the two lanes. Mustafa took our products that we made a living off of, our hand warmers, and placed them on the dying raccoon, just to hope. We were hoping that his last few breaths are not going to be as bad. We even called the police because I was just really sad about it, and Mustafa just did everything possible to make me happy. It made me very sad seeing that raccoon taking its last breaths. We even called the police. We wanted that raccoon in an animal hospital, but the police just took it and threw it somewhere nearby in the forest over there. So this story just shows how responsive Mustafa is to life in general. And he listened to me exactly what I wanted done to that animal that was in its last few moments of life.
You know, this was a really emotional night. I remember that night when we pulled up this raccoon.
Yeah, I was crying really badly. And Mustafa did everything possible to try to make me happy. Just like he tried to make Dorothy happy. And yeah.
And we're talking about human life. It's incomparable. But a life is a life. And no one has the authority or the right to take life or give life other than God. But at that moment, when we saw that raccoon, and I got to tell you, that raccoon could have been ran over by a car in the wrong part of the body, and it's suffering.
Yeah.
I pulled over, turned on the lights for the Hummer, where it's flashing hazardous lights, and we stopped the whole traffic.
Yeah, we
just
did.
To make sure
you did stop the whole traffic to try to save that raccoon.
And when we called 911, the police were like, "What the hell? You're calling 911 for a raccoon? They took the raccoon, just threw it in the woods. Insensitive.
Yeah.
So insensitive. This is God's creature. This is God's creation. But we're talking about in comparison to human lives. Dorothy and Empress, that's not just no strangers that I would just save in a heartbeat. This is my life. That's my family.
Yeah.
And I would put
They
my
were
life
your family at
before
that moment in
their
time.
life.
They were your family, and I know you would have done everything possible to keep them safe.
You don't even have to. I don't even have to breathe. Before even the thought hits my brain, I would save their life immediately. And that's exactly what's going on here.
Yeah.
For those that are just joining the conversation, the Commonwealth Attorney for the past 2 years is avoiding that there is a Google Nest video in the apartment that shows you how beautiful the relationship is. Mustafa, there's a Google Nest inside the apartment. Why is she refusing to look and put the evidence on the record? I mean, you don't have to listen to this podcast. There's a Google Nest inside. Christina, there's a Google Nest inside the apartment.
Yeah.
That shows you how much the kids, how much Mustafa, how much Dorothy, how much beautiful the relationship is. I'm gonna pull it up.
They don't want to show the Google Nest in the apartment because it would show Mustafa's true character, and they want to paint Mustafa as a bad person.
They're scared, Christina. They're terrified now.
Which he is not.
They are terrified. This is a Google Nest inside the apartment. This is Mustafa, the kids. Days on days of Google Nest that show how beautiful the relationship is. You know what's really disturbing? I'm going to release the audio of the court proceeding during the bonds when the prosecutor is talking about the case. And the community is going to listen. In one portion in the recording, she looks at the court and she sees you sitting with the family. She sees that you've been sleeping in the parking lot fighting for Mustafa. This prosecutor is terrified. She wants to paint Mustafa as a monster, but his ex-girlfriend of 5 years is sitting in the court. fighting for her ex-boyfriend, sleeping in the parking lot, fighting for her ex. She is terrified. She doesn't know what to say. She looks at you. She says, "Your Honor, the ex-girlfriend is sitting with the family." Wait, what did you just say? The ex-girlfriend of 5 years is sitting with the family in support of Mustafa.
That's right.
I mean,
That's right.
see, it's so disturbing when this community hear what this prosecutor is talking about.
If I would have not been there, it would have made sense what they're saying.
Mustafa on the phone.
I mean,
Ammar.
no,
made
Mustafa's
sense.
gonna call back, Mama. I mean, Mustafa, are you here?
I'm right here. Just
Well, hello there, princess. You're here the whole time. Okay, all right. I hear you. I hear you.
I just want to say one thing on what you're saying right now with
Yeah.
Christina. Christina has my back no matter what. And the prosecutor is so upset that when she looks back, she sees Christina sitting in between my mom, my dad, because Christina is family. No matter what they try to do, they're not going to manipulate anyone. Now, they try their best, they try their hardest, and they try to manipulate, tamper, or play with evidence, or tamper with witnesses, or try to convince someone to go against him. This kid Mustafa off the street. It's not going to happen. Mustafa's coming out. And Christina has my back, whether anyone likes it or not. Just ask her. Ask her about me. Christina knows me. She knows me very well.
I miss you so much, Mustafa. I miss selling those therapeutic items with you. I miss the way you spoke to people and helped everyone. I really, really miss that. You know, that you were an amazing human that just did kind things every day. And those Google Nest videos from the house with Dorothy and the kids need to be shown, because that shows what a real man you are. You wanted to take care of Dorothy, and you wanted to take care of the kids in a proper, beautiful way, and you were working towards that goal before that tragic accident. You were taking steps every day to make sure that her Dorothy and her kids were going to come to a point where they can, enjoy their days. And that's you. That's the type of person you are. And you used whatever means possible, whatever you had available, you used it so you can help others. You were just that generous.
Christina, Mustafa, I want to take a dive into the neighbor, Nini. Nini, when you got released from the hospital, your first priority is to take care of the kids. And we took you to the apartments, and your priority is make sure the kids are good.
Yeah.
And Nini said, "I'll take care of the kids. Your brother is in no shape or form to take care of the kids, not alone take care of himself."
So
Mustafa was
spoke
out
the
of it.
truth. She spoke the truth.
I mean, it's on video. The whole
Mustafa nearly died, and Mustafa was shot up with fentanyl in the hospital.
now
So
it's
she
on
was saying
video.
the truth.
It's on video. We have a video of the whole entire night. Now, what's disturbing is that the same Nini is sitting there talking to Investigator Drum, telling him disturbing things about Mustafa. And then she says, "I was never there. I didn't see anything." Now, what she says is a lot. Now,
So she spoke the truth. I was never there. I never.
she's never there. This investigator has a job to do. When he's listening to somebody that told him, "I was never there. I didn't see anything."
Yeah.
This is called hearsay. It's hearsay. There is no evidence that support anything that you're saying.
Yeah.
You're not there and you didn't see anything. Now, the investigator's wife, Stephanie Claiborne Drum, is on a phone call with Investigator Drum.
What is she doing
Now,
on the
this
freaking
is-
phone call? Is
she-
she part of the police department? No,
No, she's not. She doesn't work for the police department. This is Stephanie Claiborne Drum. Is on
like
a body cam with the investigator. Now, this segment is dedicated for Stephanie Claiborne Drum. Now, at the time, it's possible that she thought Mustafa is a monster. It's possible. You've got Nini, you've got 16-year-old Kylie, you've got the ex-boyfriend. It's possible. Well, I'm going to play an audio for the wife of the investigator that's heavily invested. Even though it is police misconduct, it's not allowed. It's illegal to have a wife of an investigator involved the way she's involved. I mean, she's on a phone call, on a body cam. She's on the internet pretending under username K0707, trolling the conversation for 2 years. We have her here on TikTok. You can look her up.
Yeah.
Her voice is on the internet.
I know she was
Now-
harassing everyone.
Now, here's the thing. I'm going to play an audio. Every time she gets on this platform, she repeats what Nene told investigator Drum, who today, Judge Weimer, as corrupt as we say Judge Weimer is, he says, this is not evidence. What the neighbor is saying, the neighbor said, and specifically told the children, and she attempted to weaponize the children by saying this. Your mother told me that Mustafa had peed on her. She's telling a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old that just lost their mother, that they just lost their mom in a tragic vehicle accident. And she's sitting there telling kids, weaponizing these kids, that your mom told me. And then she's telling this to the investigator, she's telling this to the kids, and then the next day, mom talks to her. And then she says, on a phone call that I'm going to play, and I want specifically Stephanie Claiborne Drum, the wife of the investigator, to listen to this. I've never released this audio. I want K0707 to listen to what Nene says to mother the next day. She began painting Mustafa as a savior to these children. The only person that loved these kids is Mustafa. And she tells her, after she paints Mustafa as a saint, that he loved the kids, he took care of the kids and Dorothy, she says, you should talk to Jaden, the 14-year-old. Wait a minute. You should talk to Jaden after you weaponize him against Mustafa? So you tell him a whole bunch of negative things. You told him that your mother told me that he peed on her. You weaponized this kid against Mustafa. I mean, Jaden in a forensic interview says, the police told me that Mustafa ran away, left my 5-year-old baby sister in the car, and if he hadn't ran away, they could have saved my 5-year-old baby sister. They're lying to him. Mustafa was in a helicopter. He's in a coma.
Yeah.
Mustafa was taken helicopter to the hospital. The police, Nene and the ex-boyfriend, they weaponize this kid against Mustafa. And now Nene all of a sudden wants to pull herself out of the whole entire situation and say, Mustafa is a wonderful human being. Mm-hmm. That's all I saw. Mm-hmm. He took care of the kids. He took care of Dorothy. You love Dorothy and the kids. But you should talk to the kid that I weaponized.
Mm-hmm. What kind of
Listen to this phone call.
these?
Of course. What kind of game? Did you know that the Commonwealth Attorney Amy Ashworth removed and no process all of Nene and Glenn Ford's criminal charges?
That's insane.
I mean, you're talking about a situation where the police are working with individuals that are manufacturing.
We had some more serious charges than if they were removed.
Are we talking about the same police that are being sued in a giant lawsuit by Mustafa before the vehicle accident? Mm-hmm. I mean, this community doesn't know, but they should look at the whole entire picture. I want the wife of the investigator to look at the whole picture.
Mustafa had a very hard time taking care of. So Mustafa was not allowed to make a living, to take care of himself and others. He was harassed at least once a week for all those years that we worked together. It was just freaking impossible. It was impossible because he was harassed. Like, we were not doing anything wrong. We were doing something beautiful. We were selling therapeutic items, and we were asking people about their pain. Is something broken? Is something hurting? You know. Well, look, we have these hand warmers, that also can help with pain. We did everything right, and beautiful. I mean, they were still harassing him every week.
Christina, you know how many times I would yell at Mustafa for giving all his money to the homeless people? He would buy them food, take care of them.
You would not yell at him. You would just tell him, "What are you doing?" But Mustafa,
yeah, I mean, I would tell him, you don't have any money in your pocket. You're spending all your money on people.
Yeah.
And And he would yell at me, tell me,
Yep.
I can go out and make money.
Amar.
They
Amar.
need help.
Yeah.
Amar.
Yes, Mom.
That life.
Yeah, no, I got banned, but I'm gonna appeal it. It always happens. Like, Mom, you got a whole entire police department that's sitting here.
Did I
And
say?
you're good? No, you didn't say anything. You're good. But I have a lot of people that will report the live, but it always comes back.
No,
Thank God we have YouTube, a huge platform that we're working on that they can't take down.
Mustafa Habibi.
Hey, Mom, I wonder why TikTok is being reported, and I wonder who's reporting.
It's probably Kate. It's probably Kate or Drum.
It sounds to me like Kate is getting really offended that she's getting exposed, and also her best buddy, Amy Hodgson.
That's the only explanation because we're not saying anything bad here.
Amy Hodgson and Stephanie Claiborne Drum. They're really, really mad right now. What are they doing? They're reporting you're live. They're reporting, but they can't report you on YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry. Unfortunately for them, the truth is coming out, whether anyone likes it or not. The truth is coming out. There's a lot of diddlers that are going to jail because of the tort that has occurred.
Now, Mustafa, we're gonna play the audio of the phone call. Christina, this is disturbing, and I want to specifically have the wife of the investigator listen to if she's been misled, if she's been fooled. I want her to listen to what Nini says to Mother the next day. I mean, this is disturbing. I mean, are we talking about the same individual that told kids that Dorothy came up to her, Mustafa's girlfriend came up to her, and told her that he peed on her? Listen. She's telling Drum that Mustafa's abusive, Mustafa blah, blah, blah. I mean, listen to this.
You know Moses, right?
This is the phone call between Mother, never released before. This is an audio of a phone call between Mother and Nini, the same individual that says, Dorothy came up to me and said that Mustafa had peed on her. That's interesting.
Nini is Kim Coleman, or another entity is Tanisha Coleman.
Now, what's disturbing, Mustafa, is we're talking about the same Nini that leaves her 9-year-old and 10-year-old over at Mustafa's house. The night of the vehicle accident, the day before, they're spending their spring break at Mustafa's house. And this is the Google Nest from the apartment. So I'm going to have that running in the background just to drive the point home that this lady is lying about Mustafa. This lady is lying about Mustafa. I mean, as a mother, would you leave your 9-year-old in someone's apartment that the girlfriend is saying that he peed on me? No! Yeah. No mother would do that. But here we have the child in Mustafa's apartment. This is Nini's child. I'm going to lower the volume and I'm going to play the audio of the phone call conversation. That little child, that 9-year-old child, and the 8-year-old child, these are Nini's kids.
Yeah.
The night of the accident, the day before the accident, the day before. I mean, you're leaving your kids at someone's apartment that supposedly pees on his girlfriend? What do you mean? A person that you say he's abusive? Well, that's interesting, because the next day, when you talk to Mother, you describe Mustafa as a wonderful human being that loved Dorothy and the kids. Listen to the phone call.
Like, you know Moses, right? I know Moses. You know how he was with the kids, like, you know how he was with the Dorothy. You remember when I asked you, like you told me Moses is the one who was taking care of them. You remember?
Moses was taking care of who? The kids?
Yeah, I want you to tell me how, like, when Moses was with them, how did he treat them? How did he treat Dorothy? You remember Moses?
Yeah.
You used to go with them. You used to go, like, everybody, like, Moses used to take everybody. Tell me. You tell me, like.
Moses always used to take the little ones, not the big ones.
Okay. Like, how did he cheat her? How did he cheat her?
I don't really. I mean, they treated each other like they love each other.
Right?
They treated each other like they loved each other. That's not what she told Drum.
Why is she changing her story?
Now Mustafa loves the family. That's not what she told Drum. Keep listening.
What I saw, but then, you know, I never seen nothing. Like, I wasn't hanging with them that long to see anything. I only known them for almost 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Mustafa, is that true? Mustafa, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
She said she only knows you and Dorothy and everybody for 3 weeks.
Shot for the dates in perspective. No, that's not true.
How long has she known you then? When she says 3 weeks, how long have you known her?
She's lived there.
Well, you know Dorothy for 3 months. That's how long the relationship is.
So probably Nene, like what, a month or two?
The question is, how long does Nene know Dorothy? Is it really 3 weeks?
No, she's known Dorothy for a long time.
So wait a minute. Why is she saying 3 weeks then?
Yeah, why is she saying 3 weeks when she's known Dorothy for a long time then?
I have no idea. I don't know. Right now, this is actually new information. I haven't heard this before. I don't know what she's saying.
Keep listening.
She wants to take herself out of the situation.
Well, let's keep listening. Okay,
That's
so
what
she
she's
said
trying
3
to do.
weeks. Okay. She described Mustafa as a person that loved the family, right? Right? Okay. Love family.
By the way, all that information is going to come to light.
Of course.
Timestamps to everything.
Nene wants to say the truth, but she is coerced into saying negative things about Mustafa. She wants to say the truth.
You should see the body cams before this phone call. I mean, she went and described Mustafa as a monster, but here she says Mustafa is a wonderful human being that loved his family.
That is the truth. That is the truth. She said the truth.
Listen, keep listening.
Then she changed the story because of Drum and whoever is related to him. I don't know.
You can do a whole investigative background check or whatever. You can see how long she's lived there. And then when you subpoena the cell phones, you're going to see timestamps when they communicated. You're going to see a lot of stuff. You know, this is all going to come out. The court just granted almost $50,000 in funds for expert witnesses, including an investigator.
$50,000. The court. $50,000. The court has granted Mustafa.
Yeah.
The court has granted Mustafa to investigate this case. Now, wait a minute. Are we talking about a case that Amy Ashworth was just about to take to trial back in December? Wait a minute. Why would the Commonwealth Attorney, why would the county grant $50,000 to investigate this case, and all of a sudden they're sending out a subpoena for Glenn Ford? It's like, come here, buddy. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. What did you do that you made us build a whole entire case? Glenn Ford, hello, sir. What did you tell the private investigator on an audio, on a recorded line? He said, I'm all the way out of Maryland. They won't catch me. I'm nowhere near this case. Wait a minute. The Commonwealth Attorney. I have him on audio saying this. So he fabricates probable cause. Mustafa, go ahead.
And I was going to say he has to come to court now that he's subpoenaed, or the U.S. Marshals are going to be looking for him. They're going to drag him to court, and he's going to have to be cross-examined and into everything that he's done for all this damage, this manufactured probable cause. He's the main reason why I'm sitting in jail, alongside with the other individuals, Amy Hodson. Amy Hodson's a key.
Well, I want to tell you something about Amy Hodson, Mustafa. I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine about Amy Hodson today. We were specifically talking about, is it possible that Amy Hodson has been lied to? I mean, think about what she says on a body cam. She says, I don't know Mustafa. When she's talking to Drum, when Kate 0707 the wife of the investigator, is on three-way. She tells Drum, I don't know Mustafa. I don't know Dorothy. You should talk to Kylie, the girl that I took in and I'm taking care of. Is it possible that Kylie is in an environment where she's hanging around with strippers? She's hanging around with the club owner. I mean, her dad works for the club owner. And she's formulating her opinion about her mom's new boyfriend, Mustafa, through who she's hanging around with. And now you have a situation where a 16-year-old is so angry and is going around, one, asking to unalive Mustafa. We don't know if the club owner is asking her to do that. I mean, no 16-year-old. The 16-year-old did not know Mustafa.
Yeah.
And now she's putting it, she's putting it in Amy Hodgson's head that Mustafa is this evil person. And Amy Hodgson tells you, I wasn't there. I don't know Mustafa. I don't know Dorothy. You should talk to Kylie. Listen to what she's telling me. I mean, is it possible that this lady has been lied to? Yes. Now, here's the thing. This is the key in this whole entire case. Amy Hodgson, at one point, comes into our life as Christine Alcazay. Christine Alcazay, Christine Warda on TikTok, and she began advocating for Mustafa. I have all the phone calls that when she talks to Mustafa from jail. And she began, when you listen to these phone calls, you begin to hear when she's fighting for Mustafa, she's really fighting for Mustafa. She tells him, King, you are innocent and you're coming home. I know you're innocent. Do you know why she says, I know you're innocent? When you listen to her, you begin to understand that this lady does believe in Mustafa because she lied about Mustafa. She's the reason that fabricated the probable cause. She's the reason. In court, the prosecutor is screaming Mustafa is guilty and this is premeditated, and she's quoting Amy Hodgson. A person that says, I don't know Mustafa, I wasn't there, I don't know Dorothy. This county have taken the word of individuals that were not there, fabricated probable cause, and now they're in a situation where there is evidence on the table that this is a vehicle accident. And Glenn Ford, Amy Hodgson, Kylie, the wife of the investigator, are involved in police misconduct and falsified police reports. Yeah. And now they're putting $50,000 into this case to get to the bottom of it. We're talking Amy Ashworth. Who do you think? Amy Ashworth, the county.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you. Let's take a step back.
Thank God.
Well, hold on now. Hold on.
Okay.
The case is in federal court. The federal government is looking into this county. So I don't know if Amy Ashworth all of a sudden is but I'll tell you, there are forces that are pushing this Commonwealth attorney to make sure to look into this case. And if she doesn't look into this case, she's going to be looked into.
You just gave me the best news. I am so happy. Wow. Oh, man. That's so amazing.
No stone is going to go unturned.
I guess there is progress. Oh, my gosh. Wow, that is great news.
Yes, Mom.
That is amazing news.
Yes, Mama. Of course, Mustafa. I love you. The floor is yours.
What time is it?
It is 11:35.
Okay. I have 5 more minutes and then I have to go.
5 more minutes and then Mustafa, you want me to continue playing the audio?
Well, I have to go in 5 minutes. You can play the audio. By the way, continue the podcast. Even when I do this part, I'm going to be there within spirit. But I just want to...
Lori, thank you for being there.
Thank you for having me. But, I just want to tell you that, remember, tomorrow is going to be...
Oh, my gosh. Mustafa, please, just take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself, man. Wow. I really thought that it was... Wow, that is amazing. That's amazing.
With everyone's effort, with your effort, you have given me life. The
oh my gosh, Mustafa.
Want to falsify, and they're sitting here. They're manufacturing probable cause to hold me, lying on my name.
Yeah.
Making false accusations to deny me bond. They want to hold me. They want to give me life in prison. They want to give me life in prison. They attempted to murder me. And what's going on here.
Wow.
God is preventing all of that from happening. And with
Wow.
your support, with everyone coming together, you're giving me my life back. You're giving me my life back. And with the power of the Creator, I truly believe my faith is strong, and it's only becoming stronger, that with your support, we stand together, we stand united against any tyrant that thinks they can abuse their powers.
No, it's horrendous. It's horrendous what they did, and I really thought that their force is just so, it's so dark and strong, but there is a light. Wow, Mustafa, that's
exactly. And I have never lost hope. Never lost hope. And by the way, when I was sitting here in the dark, they covered up my windows, shut off my water. They put me in a cell with feces, urine, blood, and no prayer rug, nothing. I'm feeling the back of my head, craters. I'm feeling the back of my head. They punched me with closed fists, pounded, beat me up to death. And I'm sitting here. I still prayed that night. I prayed to God, telepathically speaking, to my beloved mother. I said, God, this is not my time to go. I want to be able to see my mom in physical form, in person. When I get out, I want to be able to see my mom. When I get out, I'm going to be able to buy my mom a mansion, and everybody's invited.
May God hear you,
Trust
Mustafa.
me.
That's
Trust me, Bustos. Trust me, Bustos.
Bustos, I love you, ma'am. Thank you for being there just now.
wow, Mustafa.
And
That's,
everyone that's contributing, I promise to God, I promise on my mother's life, I promise on my life and everything I believe in, that your effort.
I know for a fact. I know for a fact you've always helped others. I know you will do that. They just have.
You already know, but I want you to put it in perspective so people can know what you know. They can't read your mind, but I want to tell you.
And Christina, if you want to read Mustafa the chat so he can reply to the chat.
And no one can delete my personality. But I got to tell you something.
Oh, okay.
Your effort does not go unnoticed. And I promise you, when I do get out, it's going to be multiplied. Just like in the Bible, just like in the Quran, just like in the biblical structure, the scripture, back in the day, they talk about your investments get multiplied. This is the time. When I come out, I promise you, I'm going to pay you back for everything, your time, your effort, everything you've done for me. I promise you.
I love you, Mustafa.
A whole different nonprofit organization, a movement that we're fighting for, a cause to be the voice for the voiceless.
I know. When you're out, that we're not gonna hear that they unalived people in there anymore. We're not gonna hear that.
I promise to God,
Yeah.
when I come out, there's not going to be a day where a correctional officer, a jail officer, or a tyrant, a dictator, that's going to put his hands on a vulnerable person. We're going to stand for the oppressed. And anyone that has no voice, we're going to give them their voice back. This is America. This is America. The country of freedom and rights. The Constitution has a foundation, and if we don't stand for it, we're going to lose it. They arrested my brother.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Keep fighting for your voice. God bless you all. I love you so much with my whole being.
I love you, Mustafa.
My whole life, my soul, my heart.
I love you, Mustafa. You take care of yourself.
I'm so happy.
You continue take care of yourself on the inside, and we'll take care of everything on the outside. I love you.
حياتي انت مع السلامة. Good night يا روحي انت حبيبي.
Please, put Maha on the podcast.
ماها قاعدة كانت ماها قاعدة.
Maha's like a lion. That's my lion in the
Oh
jungle.
man,
When she comes
she
out,
has a very strong personality. Maha has a strong personality. Okay,
All right, man. I want to tell everybody I love you. Good night. Amar, take care of yourself.
I love you, man. Take care.
Keep the
Habibete.
podcast going and expose the tyrants and the diddlers are going to go to jail.
Habibete, take care.
حياتي. مع السلامة. الله
That's
يحفظك.
so amazing, Mustafa. Please take care of yourself, please.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
تصبح على خير يا حياتي. إن شاء الله حبيبي. حياتي مع السلامة. Good night يا روحي حبيبي. Good night ماما مع السلامة.
Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
Man, why do I have to come here for you to tell me the news?
There's a lot that's been going on behind closed doors.
Oh.
By the way, there's more. but I'll keep updating you along there's a lot. I want to thank everybody for being here. Christina has the tablet, so if anybody has a question, please send in your question. Thank you for being here. I want to remind everybody to support this podcast. There's a button on there that you can donate directly into the podcast so we can upgrade and continue doing what we're doing with the podcast. Mustafa's Legal Fund is a cash app. You can directly donate into Mustafa's Legal Fund. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment. That's what's going to drive this podcast to go into the community. Now, we're spending a lot of energy into this podcast because the media is not doing their job. This county engaged in police misconduct, falsified police reports, and now the media is covering up for the police department, is covering up for the jail that beat and abused Mustafa, and they refuse to tell the story. I mean, we've got body cams, we've got Mary Jo says, Christina, thank you for being here on the podcast.
Thank you, Mary Jo. I'm so happy you're here too. Oh my gosh, these are the best news ever.
Love you, Christina. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Missy, I love you, ma'am. Thank you for donating into the podcast. And I'll tell you, this is a beautiful podcast that we're working. Casey, I love you, ma'am. I'll tell you, this podcast is, Mary Jo, thank you. This podcast is a lot of work. And it's going to need a specific type of energy to maintain and to grow. This is, unfortunately, our only means into this community. The media is not doing their job. And with your support, we're going to be able to grow this podcast and continue to have a voice. They're attempting to take my brother's voice. They're attempting to silence my brother. Missy, thank you, ma'am. They're attempting to have this family not have a voice in this county. Why? Why should we not have a voice in this county? I mean, the police department lied, falsified, and now you don't want our voice. I mean, why? Maybe because we have the evidence.
Yeah. Yep.
They're scared.
Yeah.
They're scared. They're terrified.
That's why they shut you down so badly. That because there is evidence.
Oh, Christina, you have no idea. Okay, look, I'm going to tell you some news. Okay. You already saw that I took the sheriff to court and beat the sheriff in court. Mm-hmm. In his house. I beat him.
I was very surprised. That
Becky, I love you. I love you, ma'am. Thank you for donating into the podcast. I love you, ma'am.
I was very surprised they didn't find a bunch of paid.
They did.
People. They did.
They did. A judge. They brought me a judge. Oh my God! Let me tell you the details. I wish you were there. You would have seen me. I swear to God, Christina.
Oh, wow.
I took the stand.
Yeah.
In court, the sheriff took the stand. He said whatever he had to say.
Yeah.
Lied about everything. I have the recording of the court, by the way. I put it on the internet. And then the deputy that arrested me took the stand, and then I took the stand. The jury fell in love with me.
Oh my God.
They saw that the sheriff lied, and they saw that I have video evidence that they violated my First Amendment. I mean, what am I doing? I'm not bothering anybody. I'm not disorderly. The sheriff himself is saying...
This is United States. You can voice
talk.
You
want to tell me
your opinion.
It's wild. It's crazy. You want to lie about my brother, falsify my brother's police report, beat him, abuse him, and then when I come out, you put me in handcuffs?
And then you talk about it, and then they arrest you.
So I took him to court. Mm-hmm. I won.
Wow, that's so amazing. That's so cool, man. God is great.
So that's the Sheriff Glenn Hill situation. Mm-hmm. By the way, I'm going to file a lawsuit. I'm going to sue the sheriff for every penny he got. He violated my First Amendment. He put me in handcuffs. Excessive force. He almost broke my arm. Mm-hmm. You can see it on video. I had to tell him 5 times that you're breaking my arm. He assaulted my sister that was recording. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't for my sister recording, Missy, I love you, ma'am. Thank you for donating into the podcast. Thank you. I love you, ma'am. I'm going to sue the sheriff. Now, I'll tell you, I'm in communication with Captain Crespo. I'm going to tell you. Captain Kelly Crespo. This is Captain Kelly, Deputy Sheriff.
Okay.
Captain Kelly Crespo.
Yeah.
And I'm asking her for my body cams. Under FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, you can request your body cam, and they have to make a reasonable effort to supply you with the body cam.
When you got arrested.
When I got arrested.
Okay.
This is the video for my arrest. Now, I'm asking for my body cams because a chain of events took place after I was put in handcuffs.
Yeah.
In one instance, they put me in handcuffs, take me inside of a controlled room where they have the cameras, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. A small confined space. And they have 5 deputies breathing over my neck, intimidating me, and I swear to God, it felt like they were going to unalive me right there and then. Where I felt so much fear, when I was asking them, Deputy,
what did you do?
What is your name?
You didn't do anything wrong.
I was in handcuffs.
They have five of them, armed and intimidating you like that.
And I began asking those deputies, Deputy, what is your name? Is your body cam on?
Okay.
And he tells me, we don't have to turn our body cams on.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
Why? What are you trying to do to me?
Yeah.
That you don't want to turn on your body cam. I mean, I've been talking about the jail for almost as long as my brother's been incarcerated. That they beat my brother. I've been advocating for other inmates. And all of a sudden, you had me in handcuffs. You put me in a small room, and you're breathing over my neck with 5 deputies. What am I supposed to think? That you were going to beat the shit out of me and say it's my fault.
That must have been...
Mary Jo, I love you, ma'am. Thank you
terrifying.
for donating into the podcast. I love you, ma'am. Lori, thank you for being there. What am I supposed to think? I mean, I honestly thought they were going to beat me so bad that unalive me right there and say I did something. So I asked for the body cam to be on, and they refused to turn them on. Wow. And they intimidate you. 5 of them. I asked this deputy, identify yourself, sir. What is your name? What is your name, deputy? What is your name, deputy? And they refused to identify or turn on their body cam. Wow. That this went on for a good 10 minutes, this back and forth. Almost just about 10, 15 minutes. And then one deputy, a seasoned deputy comes in, an older lady, sheriff deputy. She said, my body cam is on. She didn't, I don't know, she didn't like what was going on.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then all of a sudden, the fire alarm goes off. They put me in another room. Chain of conversations. These body cams, they have to release them. Amy Ashworth, this is my arrest. But may I remind everybody, for those that say the sheriff is in their right, this has already went to trial. A jury unanimously acquitted me from all charges that the sheriff put on me.
That's
all 7.
Relief.
Christina, all 7 saw the situation and said, we absolutely have a First Amendment in this county. And the sheriff is in the wrong.
Oh, wow. That's so amazing. Wow. That's such amazing news.
So
this pain is going to come to a close.
I need my body cams. Wow. Christine, I'm in communication with Captain Crespo, and she tells me, your body cam is going to cost $800. $800, Christina, for a bunch of body cams. I replied to Captain Kelly Crespo with the Sheriff Department. I tell her, I said, ma'am, under FOIA, under the Freedom of Information Act, and I quote a section, a code, I sent her in the email, I tell her that you're supposed to make a reasonable effort to provide me the body cam within 7 days. This, I'm already found not guilty. I'm no longer criminally charged. I'm entitled to my body cams.
Yeah.
Why is it $800? And I specifically tell her the code that she has to make a reasonable effort. And I tell her that those body cams have already been provided to the defense attorney, my lawyer. They've already been researched. So you already gave them to the lawyer. So there shouldn't be a fee to research where the body cams are.
Yeah.
You already gave them. You already have them. You gave them to the defense attorney. You gave them to, you played them in court. So you already have them. You don't have to do it. It's just a link that you send me. It's that simple. Christina, they just send me a link on the internet.
I don't want to give it to you.
But they're charging me $800. And then she tells me that she replies back to me, we are a small agency, and unfortunately, I have to have 2 supervisors to go and find all these body cams. That doesn't make any sense because you already gave them to the lawyer. We already played them in court. Casey, I love you, ma'am. Thank you for donating into the podcast and supporting this podcast. I love you, ma'am. So I tell her that's not a reason. So anyway, you know, what's really disturbing is she said we're a small agency. Christina.
Yeah.
I'm going to play this video for you where the sheriff brought 9 deputies. I mean, look at how many deputies the sheriff, to the point where I had to count them. Look, I'm counting. The sheriff, Sheriff Glenhill, when he came out, now I'm not disorderly, I'm not bothering anybody, I'm on public property, I'm simply recording a video.
Just like Billy thought the parking lot was his.
Exactly. He's entitled.
The sheriff thinks that everything is his place.
Now, Christina, he brought 9, I mean, look at how many deputies are there. That I'm counting. I start counting.
Yeah. I mean, it's so clear they want to intimidate you.
Intimidation.
To the point that you're going to feel too scared to talk.
9 deputies, Christina, 9 deputies. And Captain Crespo with the deputy office tells me we're a small agency. Well, the sheriff didn't think this is a small agency when he brought 9 deputies. It wasn't a small agency when he brought 9 deputies.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
What small agency is she talking about? Oh, wait a minute. Is she talking about the whole county? Do you know how big the sheriff department is in Prince William County?
So she referred to the department as being made of 2 people?
No, she says we're a small agency.
Oh.
What do you mean? Anyway, I gave her the money.
Uh-huh.
Lakeisha, I love you, ma'am. Thank you for being there. Thank you for making this possible, where I can get my body cams. So I gave the sheriff department the money.
Yeah. Okay.
I sent him the money, even though it's a ridiculous amount. They're making it impossible. They know I don't have money. They know I'm out here door dashing. They know the county took all my money. They sent me a lawyer and took my money. They know I don't have the money, so they hit you with $800. But thank God to the community. I love you, ma'am. A retired police officer that's been there for over 20 years. He's looking at the situation and says, not on my watch. Here is $800. Go get your body cams. So I give the police department, the sheriff department, the money. I send him a cashier check. She replies to me. Captain Crespo replies to me and says, we're invoking a code and we need 60 days to supply you with the body cams. Wait a minute. 60 days? What do you need 60 days for?
After you paid.
After I paid.
Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute. You were talking about...
Again, Casey Stevens.
No, well, by law, this is illegal. Because what Captain Crespo is now engaged in is she's going to walk herself into a civil lawsuit for my FOIA. I'm a paralegal. I know how to file a lawsuit. I don't need a lawyer. I know how to file my own lawsuit. I know how to write my motion. I mean, look at the papers on the wall. I mean, it's filled with exhibits. And what she's doing is she's going to walk into a lawsuit for violating a FOIA because, one, it's not reasonable to request for 60 days for body cams that's already supplied to the defense attorney, body cams that's already been played in court. What research?
Delay this until forever.
Exactly. So that's one. Two, I can make the argument that for the good of the community, these body cams have to be released because, one, this was a false arrest. The jury found me not guilty.
Exactly.
This is a false arrest.
You were found not guilty by many, many jurors.
A First Amendment has been violated. Excessive force has been violated. And a family member was assaulted in the process.
Yep.
Now, I can make the case that for the good of the community has to see these body cams so this does not happen again. And Captain Crespo, she knows if this motion, if this lawsuit, civil lawsuit, is to be filed, I'm going to win. But why do that? Because the money is not coming out of your pocket. It's coming out of the community's pocket. It's coming out of everybody's pocket.
She doesn't. She listens to the others. That she doesn't think for herself.
Christina, I don't want to file this lawsuit. I'm going to win. I know I'm going to. I mean, did you know that Commonwealth Attorney, if you look up Amy Ashworth, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, is being sued. If you go to Inside Nova and type Amy Ashworth, what you're going to find out that Amy Ashworth is now being sued $25,000 for a FOIA violation. I mean, let's listen to this. This is wild.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's got to be like countless.
Are they looking for another lawsuit? Like this is ridiculous. Listen to this.
A judge on Thursday upheld a series of 6 Freedom of Information Act violations on the part of the Office of Prince William County Commonwealth's Attorney Amy Ashworth, resulting in upwards of $25,000 in penalties, a slight increase from the previously announced sum. Freedom of Information, or FOIA, law is designed to ensure public access to government proceedings and records. Chief Judge Angela L. Horn presided over Thursday's hearing in Prince William Circuit Court, having granted the Commonwealth's February 27th motion for reconsideration. The plaintiff, Fairfax County resident Valeria Juarez, filed a lawsuit in 2023 claiming the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office failed to produce 172 emails in a timely manner before subsequently over-redacting them upon handing them over.
I mean, why is this Commonwealth Attorney violating FOIA? This Commonwealth Attorney, Lori, thank you for being there, man. You know, okay.
They're corruption.
Corruption.
That's why they're not furnishing FOIA documentation.
They're lying. They falsified. They conceal. I mean, look at what she's done in Mustafa Al-Jazari case.
Yep.
Falsified police reports, police misconduct, fake witnesses, beating and abuse inside the jail.
Him. Yep.
And what did they do? They sealed off the whole entire file. I mean, are we gonna walk into another situation, Captain Crespo? Captain Crespo, for the love of God, man, avoid a lawsuit. Can we avoid a lawsuit? I mean, I have no problem. Filing a lawsuit, writing a lawsuit, coming to court, engaging in this back and forth, and you know I'm going to win. I already have the video of my arrest. I need the rest of my goddamn videos.
Yeah.
Now, on other subjects, I have better news for you. The Elaine situation. Elaine Jarvis. On April, believe, I've got it in my notes, April 17. I think April 17. It's in my notes. I think it's April 17.
What date is today?
I filed a motion, and I'm putting the evidence on the record. I've got evidence, Tim, Elaine's lawyer, Timothy. You might want to invest in the company that's sponsoring our podcast. The company, Christina, I don't know if you know, we have a company that's sponsoring our podcast.
Really? That's awesome.
Depends. is an adult diaper company that reached out to us.
Wow,
After,
no way.
yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
They found out.
That's awesome.
Well, Elaine told me that this sheriff, you see the sheriff? This is our sheriff.
Yeah.
He wears an adult diaper.
Oh, he does?
Well, Elaine has information, and that's what she says. We looked into it, and we started engaging in a conversation. I wake up to the company reaching out to me, and now is financing the podcast, sponsoring the podcast. So every day we come here and we remind everybody that Depend is a company that is sponsoring this podcast. It's a very reliable. If you're gonna buy an adult diaper, make sure you go to
Hold on,
Depend.
how did Depends is
They heard about
sponsoring
us.
this? They just
Yeah, they send money. They send us products, free products.
How did it come about that they are sponsoring?
They reached out on an email through YouTube, through an email, through our email. Now we are sponsored, and they're sending us.
Because you mentioned it on the podcast?
I talked about it. I was talking about the sheriff.
Oh, I see.
And
that he
what the
wear,
sheriff
that is wearing Depends?
that wears Depends.
And that's how they reach
They
out?
send, and now they want us to unbox their diaper on. I mean, it's interesting. So,
awesome.
Tim, Elaine's lawyer, might want to invest in Depend because I wrote a motion, a very large motion, and I put all the evidence in that motion. Elaine, she's a lawyer. She's an officer of the court. She lied to the court. And I have evidence that she lied, and Elaine is going to jail. Now, the problem for Elaine, she did not only lie in Warren County, she lied in federal courts. Now you have federal prosecutors. I mean, this is a can of worm that Elaine, thank you, Elaine. God bless you, ma'am. Thank you for allowing the federal government to look into this county. Now you got federal prosecutors looking into the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. Do you know why $50,000 is heavily invested into Mustafa's case? Thank you, Elaine. We couldn't have done this without you.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Elaine was for Mustafa. She was like, this cannot happen to him. We live in America. And then she switches like 180.
Well, what she did is she lined herself up with a county that's corrupt. And she thought that this was going to be her safe bet. She thought this is a poor family. They're not going to be able to do anything and blah, blah, blah. Stereotype this family. And she put all her eggs in Commonwealth Amy Ashworth's basket. Well, now Mustafa's brother is barging in like a barefooted monkey, and he takes a basket and he kicks it. He takes the eggs and he crushes them and says, "I'm a goddamn barefooted monkey. I've got evidence, and Timothy, I've got evidence, and you might want to invest in Depends." By the way, not only am I submitting this motion in Warren County, I'm going to be submitting an amicus brief to federal court with the exhibits. Now, I'm also going to submit an amicus brief in Prince William County for Amy Ashworth. Amy, can we call each other on first name basis? I think we've been engaged in this for long enough that we can call each other on first name basis. I can do that, right? Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. I can call her Amy. You can call me Amy. I can call you Amy. You can call me Omar. I can call you Amy. You can call me Mustafa's brother. A barefooted monkey. I mean, I slept in your parking lot for almost until the sheriff put me in handcuffs. But I am back in the parking lot holding my usual podcasts. So I'm going to be submitting an amicus brief, the same document in federal court under amicus brief. I'm going to be submitting that document to Prince William County. And the fireworks shall begin.
What's an amicus brief?
Amicus brief is the same document, just titled amicus brief, but I'm just going to submit it with basically what I know about this case, into this case, that Elaine lied. Do I have evidence? Okay. Absolutely, I have evidence. Wait, Amy, Wait until you see the evidence. Commonwealth, Amy Ashworth. Now, you know what the problem is? That once Elaine put this in federal court, even if the Commonwealth attorney did not want to prosecute Elaine, now she has to prosecute Elaine because you've got the federal prosecutors looking at this case.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, by the way, this is not my word against Elaine. I have recordings, I have videos where an officer of the court not only lied to Circuit Court in Warren County, not only is lying to Prince William County and Circuit Court, is now lying to federal courts. Well, now you have federal prosecutors. And one thing that federal prosecutors do not do is they do not play. And you might want to invest. And depends. The sheriff is wearing it. Why can't you? A reliable adult diaper. On that note, before we close the podcast, Christina, do you want to say anything in closing? This girl gets more beautiful every time I see her.
I can't wait for Mustafa to
I love you, man.
come out and heal and, try to, continue with this life. Because he survived.
God is there. And the same God that protected Mustafa in this vehicle accident is the same God that protected Mustafa when these correctional officers beat him and abused him on multiple occasions inside of our county jail. Is the same God that, look around you, Christina. The evidence is all over the internet.
Yeah.
Everything's all over the internet.
No, it's a miracle.
It's the same God
it's a miracle.
that's going to bring justice. It's the same God that's going to bring justice to Mustafa, his girlfriend Dorothy, and 5-year-old Empress.
Yeah.
Look at everything. The miracles are already happening. I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But God is so angry. But he's so angry that he's shedding light on this county. And when God chooses you, you can't denounce God and say, God, what's going on? No, you have to believe in God.
It shows Mustafa did a lot of good, and that's why God is bringing this evidence for him.
And I love you, man.
And
love you. What you've done a lot. I mean, you camped in a jail parking lot with us, slept on the goddamn floor in the parking lot.
Yeah, I can't believe I was there. I can't believe I had the courage because I told you I was too afraid. To go.
God gave you strength.
Yeah.
God gives you strength.
No, the truth. Mustafa's the way he is, how I know he is. That's what gave me strength.
I love you, man. Thank you for being here. It's beautiful that you're here. On that note, I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank everybody for donating into this podcast. It's beautiful. And I'll tell you, this community is here. And it's beautiful that we can be here.
Oh my God.
And bring out. Yes, ma'am.
Such great news. Oh, man.
I love you.
Every day I feel like
it's beautiful.
I'm
God is
sinking,
here.
It's like, why? Why are they doing this to him?
It's not easy. But we're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to be strong, and justice will be served. I want to thank everybody for being here. Christina, thank you for being here. I want to thank everybody for donating into this platform. You make this possible. You supporting this platform. You supporting this podcast. We have no other choice. The media is not here, so we're doing it. Thank you for supporting this platform. Thank you for donating into this platform. I love everybody. Shelly, Casey, Bustos, I love you, man.
I can't wait, Mustafa, to see everyone
Farrah,
that's been there for him. Shelly,
Heather,
Mary Jo, Lori, Christina, Becky, Caleb. I can't wait for Mustafa to see everybody here.
Missy, can't forget Missy. Shelly, and everything that Shelly does behind the scene. I love you, man. Dre, we can't forget about you, sir.
Yes.
He's out there manufacturing emojis. Did you know about the emoji situation?
No.
Oh, man. If you don't know,
he's manufacturing emojis?
Emojis. Apparently, he's in the business of making emojis.
Oh, okay.
Him and Don got into it between something about emojis.
Okay, you'll have to tell me about it.
I'm joking.
Oh.
Now I'm going to have Don and Dre unite. By the way, this never happens. By the way, they're always fighting.
Oh, I see.
And maybe I can unite them, but the only part is they're going to be going after me. So
I see.
let's not make that happen. Dre, I love you, sir. On a serious note, thank you for being there. Don, on a serious note, thank you for being there. Everybody, on that note, I want to remind the correctional officers, I have a whole entire program, profiles that will be going up. This community is going to get to know you the same way they know me. They're going to see your picture, your home address, every piece of evidence about you, every piece of information. You're a public official. You are a public official. We pay for your salary. You're not a private citizen. You're not entitled to any privacy. You're a public official. So do your goddamn job because you're under my microscope. The gym that you go to, the community is going to know. The next time you check in when you go into a gym, the clerk behind the counter is going to ask you, oh, I know you from Not Another Boring Podcast. God damn, you're boring. Can you be a little bit nicer to pre-trial detainees that have not had their day in court? The next time you get your coffee, that 7-Eleven clerk behind the counter is going to tell you, can you be a little bit nicer? We've heard about you. Oh, you're that one correctional officer. Get the fuck out of my store. Hey, it's possible. My job is to inform this community, identify who you are, tell them what you do, and I promise you, the community is not okay with this amount of bullshit. So you're definitely under my microscope. On that note, Christina, thank you for being here. I love you, man. I want to thank everybody for being here. This is Not Another Boring Podcast. Mustafa through the police body cam. Judge Carol Weimer under the microscope.